is suing her ex-husband's girlfriend, Wendy Shively, for having her falsely arrested for stalking. Wendy says she was concerned for her safety.
Order. All rise.
My goodness.
Yeah, this is case number 234 on the calendar in the matter of Sperry versus Shively. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Sir, have a seat.
Miss Sperry, the defendant is your former husband's current girlfriend.
That's correct.
This is the former husband.
That's also correct.
How long were you married?
10 years.
You have 3 children.
Correct.
And am I correct that your husband has primary physical custody of the children?
That is correct.
As of when?
Actually, since from the time we separated, because of the fact I left the marriage. 4 years.
And you see the children how often?
Every Monday and Tuesday after school, every other weekend.
How far do you live from your former husband?
54 miles.
And who do you live with?
I live with my husband.
And you've been married for how long?
9 months now.
Your claim is that Miss Shively had you falsely arrested for stalking.
That is correct, yes.
And you want to be compensated. And Miss Shively says that she feared for her safety because of your behavior, and she had every right to have you arrested. So I'm coming to you, Miss Shively. Tell me what caused you to file the complaint. And I would like to read the complaint and see the police report that was generated by you.
There's some other documents.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. On May 19th, Miss Sperry, that was the first contact I had with her, and it wasn't really contact. I noticed her following us. We were picking up some leaves. A neighbor had cut his trees down so we could see to drive around the corner. So we were out putting those into the truck to take them to the dump, and Miss Sperry kept driving back and forth. This was on a Thursday. It was not her day with the kids.
May 19th.
May 19th.
All right.
On May 19th, 10 a.m., I left my home to go to a doctor's appointment at where I have been going to the doctor for about the past 10 years. I arrived at 10 minutes after 11, saw the doctor, got the prescription filled, drove down 2 main roads in the neighborhood to go to the back side of it, where it's a large neighborhood, but it's got very main roads that people use all the time. To go to the back side, to go to the Wendy's drive-thru, get a grilled chicken sandwich, and go to work. At that time, I was in sales, and I worked in the immediate area.
Did you drive by their home on May 19th?
No.
Yes, you did.
When I got to the back of the neighborhood at a traffic light, I noticed a burgundy van in front of me. It's windowless. And I looked, and he's got plates that say on them. I thought, oh, crap, I'm right behind Jeff. I couldn't see in that van. There is not a single window on it.
Just a second. So what you're saying is you live about an hour away, and on May 19th, you were in the vicinity of their home. Okay, next.
But she had driven by 6 times before she was behind us in the burgundy van.
I got it. Go
Okay.
ahead. Keep going. What's
Okay.
next?
There were several other incidences. There was a June 7th incident. I had been taking her daughter, Allison, who's 11, to my tanning salon, not to tan, but she has some scars on her legs, and there's a spray type of tan you can use, and it covered them a little, so she was a little more confident. I never asked Beth. Jeff had given me permission to take her there, and Beth had gone into the salon, raised a scene. When I went in the next time, the ladies told me about it. I felt terrible, that I felt like I stepped on her toes, so I called her. And I said, listen, we need to talk. I didn't mean to do anything against you. I was just trying to help Allison, and is there a way we can do this together? And we met in a parking lot. I gave her my cell phone number at that time because her and her ex-husband don't get along at all, thinking that perhaps I could keep them from fighting in front of the kids, arguing back and forth, because I care about the kids. It started out, she would call asking for little things like to help with the kids, and that was fine, but then it turned into Bass Jeff sessions. How bad he is, how he's going to beat me in 2 years, how he's charming at first, but he beats women, and I didn't want to listen to that anymore. And I told her to stop contacting me. There became an incident.
Okay. Now let's go back to the incidents at the tanning salon. What happened at the tanning salon?
On the weekend prior to June 7th, my daughter happened to mention that she'd gone to the tanning salon with Wendy. And I said, oh, and I knew she was self-conscious of the scars. I understood completely. But I didn't really know who signed the paper. And in my mind, I didn't mind that she went. It wasn't a problem. So I did go by the tanning salon. I said,
why?
Just to see who signed the paper. I was just curious. It did have her signature. And I said, you know, she's really not her parent or guardian. She really shouldn't have signed that. So I signed one. I filled out consent forms for both of my daughters. I didn't object. I thought it was very nice that their father had met somebody finally after 3.5 years, and the girl spoke very nicely about Ms. Shively. I was thrilled that, you know, they had somebody to enjoy their time with as well.
Well, that's very nice, but then I don't understand why you were curious to see who had signed the consent form.
Because...
Then I don't understand why you were curious enough to make a trip to the tanning salon to see who had signed the consent form, if it was a good thing. Mm-hmm. If their father has primary physical custody of the children, so certainly he can consent.
Oh, certainly.
And he can delegate someone else to consent. Mm-hmm. So I don't see, despite the fact that what you're saying now is all peaches and cream and all light and fluff, why you would go to the tanning salon and say, no, I'm going to sign a consent form.
I just, as a parent, just offered it because, again, I didn't want it to come back. But at the same time,
it was stupid.
Yeah, it was. And again, I was only, I was on my way to pick up my children.
You were tweaked. So. You were tweaked and peaked.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
She's had the same boyfriend even while she was still living in my house. That's kind of what happened here. You know, basically, Wendy is the best thing that ever happened to me and my daughters, and I just think she's jealous.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Elizabeth Sperry says her ex-husband's girlfriend, Wendy Shively, had her falsely arrested for stalking. Wendy says she had no other choice.
Did your husband receive custody of these children with your consent, or was it a court order?
No, it was with consent because he's the only one who lived in the school district. I lived 3 miles away, and we did not want them to be moved. So no, back in May of '03, we consented that he would have primary physical for school enrollment purposes.
So when you moved an hour away, you made no request to have the children move with you?
No, I have not. Not at this point. I have...
Stand up a second. I have a couple of questions.
Okay.
Mr. Corey, am I correct that there has been no request by your former wife to change the custody arrangement?
She's tried in a roundabout way of doing it.
How?
Before Father's Day this year, that's one of the things that Wendy had a problem with her. She basically filled out some...
Okay, then let Wendy tell me. Why don't you sit down? What happened on Father's Day?
She showed up prior to Father's Day at my apartment. She called me and told me she had just dropped off her kids. I never gave her my address, mind you. She had just dropped off her kids.
How did you get her address?
I did not have her address. I just knew that she lived in an apartment complex on the back side of the neighborhood.
How did you know that?
My children talked to me, and the only thing is they said, Wendy lives where Dad used to live. And I said, where? And they said, the apartments. And I said, oh. He had moved out to the apartment complex 4 years prior, and that's all I knew.
When she called and said she was coming over to bring something, I said, okay, I'll meet you. I didn't want her in my apartment because I was there by myself. So I asked her to meet me in front of the leasing office, well-lit public place. She supposedly had some document that changed the whole custody agreement between the two of them to a 50-50 arrangement. But she didn't give me that document. That's what she was bringing for me to take to Jeff to try to convince him to sign.
You have a copy of that document?
She does.
I have it here. This is the actual printed copy. And I wasn't trying to change anything. The only thing I was interested in doing was starting the weekend of Father's Day, which happened to fall on my weekend. He could actually have the children that weekend, and we would alternate from there.
What's the support order in this case?
A child support order from May 2003. That's never been...
In what amount?
$473 a month.
Are you paying that?
It's not for me to pay, it's for him to pay me. Back when we separated, when we had 50-50, he made 3 times the money I made. So for a year and a half, when we had...
Just a second, I'm talking about right now.
Right now, there is no order in place for me to pay him. Since I have the children half of the week, and then on the weekends...
You don't have the children half the week. You don't have the children half the week.
I carry their health insurance, and he makes 3 times the money I make. So
I don't care.
There has not been a change with regard to that.
Well, there should be, sir.
I know there should.
Okay. Well, what is the September 2000, October 2004 order with regard to visitation?
I have those.
Well, I want to see it because that's what the court's affirming.
Yeah, we basically went to court 5 times.
I want to see the last order. Do you have it, sir?
No, I don't, but I think I could shed some light on this for you.
Please, stand up, because that's what I want to see. This last order here merely says that the order of October 22nd is modified to provide for overnight visitation, alternate weekends, Friday to Sunday. What you gave to her contains 7 things, including holidays, major parts of the summer, etc. Now, you want to shed light? I'm more than happy to hear you.
This is what happened. We basically had 50-50 custody with our kids. In our original paperwork, I put that if she moved more than 30 miles away from where we both lived, which I knew she was going to be moving out to the Fredericksburg, Culpeper area. She's had the same boyfriend even while she was still living in my house. That's kind of what happened here. She moved out there without telling me a word. When I found out, I went back to court. They basically said, the girls can't live out there with you. I ended up getting custody of my kids full time. And basically what she has now is she'll pick them up from me, drive them around in circles till she brings them back at 7 o'clock at night. It's a total fiasco. My kids are getting dropped off who knows where, and she doesn't even spend the time she has with them. That's a serious problem. They are 12, 11, and 7. My daughters are preteen, and they think they're going on 20. It's a problem. Their problem with me is I have rules. When they're with their mother, nobody's around to see if they're obeying the rules or not. You know, basically, Wendy is the best thing that ever happened to me and my daughters, and I just think she's jealous. All I want is to be left alone. I never wanted child support from her.
Okay,
and
well,
I
you can't be left alone, sir, because you picked this lady to be the mother of your children.
I understand
and she's
that.
going to be the mother of your children forever.
But should I be penalized for being stupid at 24?
Well,
For the rest of my life?
Listen, should your children be penalized?
Absolutely not.
That's what I'm saying to you, sir. They have a mother. And for better or worse, they have two parents. It's not a good thing for them not to feel loved and supported by both parents. Now, children, in situations like this where you live far away from each other and have to live with one parent or another, they're living with you. That's great.
Doing it.
That's great. And I can understand her perspective of she would like to have her children with her. She made her choices 4 years ago.
Exactly.
And unfortunately, now she would like to have her choice and the children too. That's not going to happen. Do you understand that?
Oh, I understand.
Good. You can't have your choice, your heart, and your children. You left. That's it. That doesn't mean that she's going to leave you alone. She's not going to leave you alone because that's what happens. She's not smart enough to leave you alone. She's not smart enough to say, this is it, this is the story, and she will continue to fight you for your children. Children will get older. You'll make a rule for your 15-year-old. You won't like a boyfriend. She'll say, I'm going to mommy. Get over it. It's going to happen. That's what happens when people get divorced. Now you can sit down. Now, tell me the rest of the stalking, madam, so that I can make a judgment with regard to this case.
Okay.
And move on.
The following at the tanning salon, the following me in the car, there were, all the instances are listed there. I don't remember them all now. Factored in with, I was afraid all the time because she didn't represent herself as a stable, sane person to me. And I don't mean to be mean, but that's what it was. So
Give
I was
me an
afraid.
example.
Trying to sneak over that custody agreement. She showed up with the custody agreement and then wouldn't even give it to me. She asked for my email, saying it wasn't dark enough for me to read. Could she email it? She was trying to gather more information. I handed her over my email address, though, thinking, great, it'll stop the phone calls, and she won't be bashing her husband. She'll be sending me email. But I'm afraid of her. The final straw was Father's Day when I picked her children up Father's Day evening at McDonald's. Was afraid they would get into it because it was a bad day for everybody. Picked him up. She came storming over to my car, yelling, give me Taylor's cell phone. His daughter had a cell phone, which her father took away because she was using it to deceive and lie to him. He gave Beth plenty of warning that he would take it away if he ever saw it again. She told her to sneak it in the house in her backpack and keep it on vibrate so her dad didn't know. So she was storming over at me, got right in my face. I rolled up my window and drove away, but I was very afraid of her at that time, and that's what precipitated the police report.
Anything else you want to tell me?
I would like to tell my side of the story because
I'm ready.
this is just totally made up. I did meet Ms. Shively for the first time on June 7th. She did call, asked if we could talk, indicated she didn't want to have any problems. I agreed. Talked for about 20 minutes, offered me her cell phone number. It was very nice. So I left and got the girls, and my daughter saw her at the pool standing at the fence with her son. So they walked over to say hi. I took a glass of water to want a cup, and Mr. Corey pulled up and said, make a new friend. I'd pass on that, and I left with my middle daughter. 5 minutes later, he called me and left me a very nasty email saying she sees right through you, that sort of scenario. He's basically saying, while I have my children with me, I'm stalking her.
Your children aren't with you when you have them.
On 5:30, I picked up the girls on 5:29.
Tell me about the incident with the cell phone.
With regard to the cell phone, I had given my daughter a cell phone back in October. I showed up to get her. And that evening, I got a very nasty email from him telling me that he doesn't want me to come by anymore to get the girls to meet him at McDonald's. That's fine. At 6 p.m., I showed up at McDonald's. Miss Shively was there to get the children. I got out of the vehicle with my daughters, walked to her car, and I said, "Did you bring the cell phone with me?" I had left a message on Friday at his house saying, "I'd like to get my cell phone back." Did this in front of 3 people. It was not nasty. She said, "No, I don't have it." And I said, "Well, can you go get it?" And she said, "No, he says he'll give it to you when you go to court." And I said, "What does assault and my cell phone have to do with each other?" She said, "I don't know. Don't put me in the middle." And I said, "Fine." And I walked away, got in my car. I drove to the police station, which was a couple miles away, and I told the officer, "He's got my property. I've been going through this kind of abuse for 4 years. I want my cell phone back.
Where were your girls when you went to the police station?
They had just left with Miss Shively. So I went by myself.
So you dropped the children off and you went to the police station?
Correct, because I did want my property returned to me. He had no right to confiscate it.
Just a second. You had no property.
I had a
No, dear. You gave the cell phone to your daughter. Listen to
Okay.
me. That's a gift.
Okay.
It's not your property.
Okay.
Okay. So let me tell you, I have to make a judgment as to whether or not your actions, just listen,
Okay.
whether your actions were sufficient to cause her to feel fearful enough to seek a protective order. Okay. And I'm going to refer to two objective things that you did, because I don't know, I wasn't there. I couldn't tell based upon what either one of you tell me whether or not you were making calls to her and saying bad things about him. I can't tell whether or not you were, in fact, driving back and forth. There's no videotape of you driving back and forth, but you did two things that suggest to me that you're more angry than you seem. I'm speaking. That you're more angry than you would seem to want to convey to me. One, for no apparent reason, you went to the tanning salon because you were curious about who signed the consent. There was no reason for you to be curious. Your former husband has physical custody of these children. He can do whatever he wants to do. I assume it was in the children's best interest. As a matter of fact, you agree that it was in the children's best interest, but your nose was tweaked as to who signed the consent. And not only did you go there, but once you saw that she had signed the consent, you said to them, "She's not their mother. I'm their mother. Give me the forms. I will sign the consent," because that's what objectively you did. The second thing you objectively did was, after you dropped the children off in June with regard to this cell phone, instead of just saying, "Listen, I'm not going to get myself exercised over this cell phone, I'm going to the police." To the police over a cell phone? And you knew why he had taken the cell phone away from her. He took the cell phone away from her because she wasn't doing the right thing. Miss Shively probably had good cause to file a complaint against you. In any event, your complaint for false arrest is dismissed. Case is dismissed. That's all.
McDaniel says her daughter, Glenda Julius, owes for the cost of her granddaughter's funeral. Bourbon claims Glenda received aid from the state and refuses to give her the money.
All rise. Quiet in the courtroom. All rise. Yeah, this is case number 201 on the calendar in the matter of McDaniel versus Julius. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ladies, have a seat, please.
Miss McDaniel, the defendant is your daughter.
Yes, ma'am.
Your complaint is really a simple one, and your complaint is that you made 2 loans to your daughter.
Yes, ma'am.
And she has not paid you back. Your daughter says that these were not loans, they were really gifts. But the matter becomes more complicated because of the nature of the loans that you claim to your daughter. Miss Julius, you had a daughter who was murdered.
Yes, ma'am.
When was she murdered?
September 24th. She was found dead in her room.
In your home?
In her home.
Has the perpetrator of that murder ever been found?
There are 3 people apprehended as of right now for first-degree murder.
How old was your daughter?
17.
According to you, Miss McDaniel, you went to where your daughter was living, and your daughter did not have money for a burial.
That's right.
You agreed to loan her the money for the burial.
Yes, ma'am.
Subsequently, your daughter, who was not happy staying in the same house where her daughter was murdered, which is quite understandable because people had not been apprehended at that time, asked if she could relocate, and you agreed to loan her some money.
Yes, ma'am.
So that she could relocate. What was the extent of those 2 sums of money? The funeral was how much?
$4,582.27.
And how much did you advance your daughter to relocate?
$1,487.68.
The matter becomes more complicated because at some point, Miss Julius, you ascertained that there was a crime victim's compensation that you could apply for.
The DA.
The DA?
From Carroll County.
Told you what?
Told me that there was a victim's fund relief.
And what was it for?
It was for expenses for Jessica's death. And I have been making payments.
Just a second. Expenses for Jessica's death?
Yes.
Which included her burial?
Which my mother gave as a gift.
Listen to me very carefully.
Which included, yes.
So the state of Tennessee had a fund which provided for the survivors of victims of violent crime to give them money so that they could pay for burial?
Yes.
And other related expenses?
Yes.
You applied for that?
Yes.
And you got a check?
Yes.
How much was the check?
One was $5,300 and the other one was $1,024.
Can I see the paperwork surrounding those two checks, please?
There was a few gas expenses.
Can I see the paperwork for the...
This is exactly what
Bert, I'll take a look
but
at
I
it.
have more different, I have receipts to where I have been paying my mother.
Just a second. They paid you $5,307.27 for the funeral. And then there are other related expenses, moving expenses. Are you telling me that you have proof that you gave some of this money to your mother?
Yes, I have.
I'd like to see it, please.
I have receipts. Here, this is it for money orders. She told me that her payments were 70 and 40. I talked to my sister Gail that's standing next to her over the telephone. She was in California. I talked to her and she said, "Have you been giving her money?" I said, "Yeah." She told me 70 and 40 on her credit cards. And that's exactly, I've been giving her a little bit more.
Well, I see what you're talking about. You gave her $30, $40.
And it started on 11/3, excuse me.
I understand that, but these are very small amounts of money. When did you get the check from the state?
In April. She told me it was on credit cards, and as long as I was helping her out, there was no lump sum that I was supposed to give her. She knew I would have to go home. I have a headstone to purchase for my daughter, which is $910, and I'm working at a minimum wage job. I moved out because it was so unbearable to live with her in her house.
Let's go back a second. You got this money, which is about $6,500. What did you do with it?
I've been living on it. And also, I have money set aside to buy Jessica's stone and money set aside to go home.
Well,
because
so
I cannot live...
Just a second. You just told me that the stone is $900.
$910.
Fine. And did you order it?
I've already talked to... Yes.
Don't play with me.
Yes.
Did you order it?
Yes.
Did you pay for it?
Not as of yet.
Why not?
Because she started this lawsuit.
What's the name of the company that's going to do the stone?
Memorial Gardens.
Well, you certainly have $900 for the stone because you got $6,500. And my problem with you, Miss Julius, is because this is not a very difficult case, whether your mother said to you, as you allege in your answer, that's the least I can do to give you the money for the funeral, right? That's what she alleges you said to her, or not. The good people of the state of Tennessee did not provide this money for you to live on. The good people of the state of Tennessee wanted to ensure that your daughter had an appropriate burial. So you cannot take their money and do what you want with it. You have to take their money and pay for her funeral. That's what it was earmarked for by the state. Because whether you and your mother, according to you, you colluded to defraud the state by her signing papers that said she's going to pay me back, and she really didn't mean that you were going to pay her back, that's a fraud on the state. I can't sanction that. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Your family has had sufficient amount of sadness to last for a lifetime. And even if your mother is awarded the $5,000, you still have money left over for the headstone and then some.
And later today,
When they got pulled over, there were drugs in the car. Whose drugs were they?
They were his drugs.
What kind of drugs were found in the car?
Marijuana, pills, and methamphetamines.
Whose were they?
Hers.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Verben McDaniel is suing her daughter, Glenda Julius, for the cost of her granddaughter's funeral. Glenda says her mother is heartless.
What kind of work do you do?
I'm working in a dry cleaners. I'm having trouble dealing with the public.
What kind of work did you do before your daughter's death?
I was working in a convenience store, third shift.
Your mother paid for the funeral. According to the claim that you put into the criminal injuries compensation claim for Jessica Dawn Julius, the funeral was $5,307.27. That's what you told the state, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And the funeral was actually $45.82?
The difference was donations from the school where Jessica went.
What?
I have a paper that states each and every one that gave donation to the funeral.
Can I see it, please?
Yes.
The family that Jessica was, Lisa Stevens' family, were there and willing, and the whole town was willing to help out with this. My mother is the one that wanted me to move. I left everything I owned.
Listen to me. I'm not talking about the moving. I'm talking about the fact that you cannot take this money and live on it. I have to make a judgment whether the person who actually paid for the funeral, and that's your mother, or you who did not pay for the funeral, are the rightful recipients of this money from the state, which is earmarked for your daughter's burial expenses. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
And there were some very nice people from the town who also sent checks in for the funeral. But that's not the issue. The issue really is a very simple one. Whether your mother, at the time that your daughter died, and I believe that she probably did, say to you, this is a terrible time. I don't want you to worry about the funeral. I'll take care of it. Because that's what a parent does. But then when you found out that there was a possibility, because you said that the district attorney told you that there was a fund, that was after your daughter was buried, correct?
Yes.
So after your mother laid out that money, and probably would not have sought to recoup it because you have limited circumstances, that'd be a fair statement. But after she found out that you were going to get this money from the state for the funeral, the right thing for you to do was to give it back to her.
I've been giving her close to $1,500.
No. That
so
may
far.
have been fine, Miss Julius, giving her $30, giving her $70, until you got $6,500. Once you got $6,500, you had to say, Mom, clean up the credit card, pay it off, because that's what this check was supposed to be used for. Do
Yes,
we
ma'am.
understand each other?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. Let's not pursue this any further. Your family has had sufficient amount of sadness to last for a lifetime. So you have the money, and even if your mother is awarded the $5,000, you still have money left over for the headstone, and then some, right? Good. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $5,000. That's all.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I love my daughter. Love my granddaughter.
It was a gift to bury Jessica.
She's using it very foolishly, but she'll have to live with that for the rest of her life.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Savage versus Balding.
Nancy Savage is suing the mother of her grandson, Melissa Balding, for bail money. Nancy says Melissa and her son were arrested on drug charges.
All right, everybody listen very carefully, because this is a long saga to get to a simple question. Miss Savage, I assume this is your son.
Yes, it is.
This is his girlfriend.
Yes, it is.
Ex-girlfriend.
True.
They have a child together.
True.
She doesn't have custody of the child. He doesn't have custody of the child. One of your other children has custody of the child, because both of these two people were, in somebody's opinion, not capable of taking care of this child. According to your complaint, some time ago, your son was driving your car with her in the car. When did that happen?
About a year ago, a little over a year ago.
Let's have a month.
April 30th, 2004.
He's not your only child, is he?
No.
Perfect. It's a perfect example of don't put all your eggs in one basket. When they got pulled over, there were drugs in the car. I assume, Miss Savage, that they didn't belong to you.
Right.
So the two of them got hauled into court and your car was impounded. According to you, you bailed out your son and Miss Balding, and you want your bail money. Mm-hmm. Which was how much?
$750.
You also would like her to pay for the towing fees on the car and the impound fees.
The impound fees.
That she's not going to pay for because the Hulk over here was the one driving your car, right?
Yes.
And you gave him permission to drive your car, I assume.
Mm-hmm.
So I would suggest you get the impound and towing fees back from him. By the way, have you paid your mother back for your bail?
Yes, I have. Except for $50 of it.
What about the towing fees?
No, I haven't.
Where were the drugs found?
They were found behind the glove box, stashed.
Whose drugs were they?
They were his drugs.
Had you used drugs that day?
No.
Were you under the influence of drugs that
No.
day? Were you under the influence of alcohol that day?
That was possible.
What?
Yes, ma'am.
What time of the day was this?
Around 12 o'clock in the afternoon because I was laying out at my pool.
What time had you started drinking?
Around 12 o'clock.
He's shaking his head no. I tend to believe him. Were any charges ultimately brought against you?
Yes, ma'am.
For what?
That I'm not quite sure about them, but I have this paper right here stating that it was all dropped and dismissed.
Let me see that, please.
I have on the bail slip that I got her what her charges were.
Can I see that, please?
And she has one more charge than my son was, which I believe is being under the influence. She admitted to the police that she had taken somas.
What is that?
It's a muscle relaxer. Not that day, but previous.
Now tell me about the call you received, Miss Savage, from the defendant about the bail.
First of all, one of their friends notified me that their car had been pulled over, so I went to where it was because it was less than a mile from my house. And I asked the officer if I could get my car, and he said no, there were drugs involved, and one of them was under the influence, and so they were going to impound it. So I asked him where my grandchild was, and the officer went over and asked Melissa, and she told him it was at her apartment. So I told him I would take responsibility and go get Brian and have him stay with me.
Who was watching him?
Some of their friends.
Go ahead.
So I went and brought my grandson home, and I was trying to calm him and everything. He was very upset.
How old is he?
2.5.
Go ahead.
I told him that Mommy and Daddy were having car problems, and when their car was fixed, that they would come and get him, and he told me that I should take him to where they were. So Melissa started calling. The first call, she was like, you have to get me out of here. I can't stay in here. You need to get me out. I'll do anything. Whatever it is, I'll pay you back. Just get me out. And that was the first of one of many calls. I probably got between 15 and 20 calls that night, and every time she called, she woke my grandson up. And
what about your son?
He called me once.
Did you go and bail him out?
I bailed both of them out.
No. He called you once?
Once.
When did you bail him out?
Steve got released at around 2 o'clock that afternoon, and Melissa got released 8:30, 9 o'clock that morning because there was a woman in jail that Melissa had identified for another crime.
Oh, just a second. This incident happened at 12 noon.
No, the incident happened at like 10 o'clock that night that they were pulled over.
Yes.
Oh, so she had been drinking from 12 noon until 10 o'clock at night, according to her. Oh, I didn't understand that. Now I understand. Okay, and during that whole time, she called you numerous times.
She called me about 15 to 20 times, and she told me that they wanted to test her for drugs and she wasn't going to give them a urine sample, and that when she had to go to the bathroom that she would have the girls in the waiting cell stand around her so they didn't know that she was urinating.
Step up. What happened to your case?
My case was dropped before hers was.
What kind of drugs were found in the car?
Marijuana, pills, and methamphetamines.
Whose were they?
Hers.
Oh. That's interesting. Not yours.
The marijuana was mine. I admitted to the cop. When we were stopped, he asked if there were any drugs in the vehicle, and the marijuana was in my pocket. And I handed that to him, and he found the other drugs when we asked for my license and registration. When she opened the glove box door, he saw a container that everything else was in.
Who are you?
Her mother.
Step up. Why do you think your daughter didn't call you to bail her out?
Because I taught her not to call me and bail any of my children out until they have gone to their first preliminary hearing.
She was in Ohio.
Just a second.
They'll possibly lower the bail or drop the
What's your last name?
Daly.
Miss Daly, how many children do you have that have been arrested?
Oh, this one.
So when you said you've taught all your children not to call you until after they have had their first bail hearing, you were really referring just to her?
No, I raised 4 daughters as a single parent.
Yes.
And I worked in law enforcement for 30 years.
Yes.
And I just informed them that if they got into a situation where they ended up in jail, I would hope this wouldn't happen, but I just wanted to make sure that they knew what to do.
How many years have you spent in law enforcement?
All told, 20.
Between us, we have more than a half a century in law enforcement, Miss Daly. How many children do you have?
4.
Between us, we have 9 children. Did you ever have a conversation and tell your children, if you ever get arrested, make sure you wait until your first bail hearing because your bail will probably be lowered? Do you remember having that conversation when you told them about, don't talk to strangers, don't go near people's vans? You ever remember having that conversation with your 4 children?
Negative.
Me neither. So you want to go through this one more time with me? Because unless you're kooky, because I never heard of a mother, even in law enforcement, sitting her children down and saying, listen, never talk to strangers, be home at midnight, don't give any strangers your phone number, and if you ever get arrested, I want you to wait until your first bail hearing before you call me because your bail may be reduced. Were you happy to get out of jail?
Yes, ma'am.
Pay her the money. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $750, that's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy's always right, but I feel that they've been attacking me.
She's been blaming everything on me since we've been together.
He had told me, just take it, it'll be a slap on your wrist because I have priors.
I don't have any prior drug convictions, no, I don't.
I don't want anything to do with them. I just want my son now.
Is suing pizza parlor owner Steve Lindner for the cost to fix his truck. Mitchell claims it was vandalized by Steven's employees.
All rise. Yeah, this is case number 219 on the calendar in the matter of Ergenson versus Lindner. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat.
Mr. Urgenson, it is your claim that Mr. Lindner's employees vandalized your house and your car. And Mr. Lindner says that he wasn't there. As far as he's concerned, there is no proof that his employees did anything to your house and your car. Who do you live with, sir?
Myself and my 2 daughters.
How old are your daughters?
17 and 19.
What kind of work do you do?
I'm an electrical contractor.
And you have a restaurant?
Yes.
Sometime in July, according to what I read, you ordered some food from Mr. Lindner's establishment. Have you ordered from him before?
Many a times.
What did you order?
Antipasta salad and a turkey sandwich.
And did they deliver it?
Yes.
Remember what date that was?
The 22nd is the date of this, yes.
No, the
22nd.
The first order.
Well, what happened
for a
was
sandwich and a salad.
we ordered a couple times and asked for extra Italian dressing prior to that.
Well, I understand that, sir. I read the complaint. I read your complaint very carefully. Sometime before this incident, you had ordered a sandwich and a salad.
Which was 2 weeks before.
That's what I want to know. 2 weeks before this incident. And you had ordered a sandwich and a salad with extra dressing for the salad. What kind of extra dressing did you want?
Italian dressing. A couple extra cups.
And had you ordered that before?
Yeah.
And had they always accommodated you before?
Yes.
Who was the salad and the sandwich for?
Me and my daughter. Actually, my oldest daughter.
Who was eating the salad? Who was eating the sandwich? Who were you sharing?
Share it.
And your order came, and they didn't send the extra dressing.
They didn't send any dressing.
So you called back the restaurant. And what did you say to them?
I asked them, they didn't bring me any dressing. I talked to one of their guys in there. He said, we're very sorry. We'll be out in 10 minutes. And I said, please do, because I don't want to wait another 40 minutes for like I had to wait for my order. I want the salad dressing right away. No problem, sir. We'll be right out there. Waited about 40 minutes, almost an hour. Nobody showed up at my door. I called and I said, can I talk to the manager? And he says, I am the manager. I said, well, I've been waiting for my dressing now an hour. They didn't bring me any. Well, I didn't know. He said, I didn't know anything about it. We have no drivers anymore. They all went home. And I got angry with him. And I said, well, I want a credit on my food then. And he said he wasn't going to give me full credit. And I said, I would like full credit for $12. I couldn't eat anything.
You couldn't eat the sandwich?
Not by that time, because we normally put the salad dressing on the sandwich, too. That's why we order extra for the salad and the sandwich. The girls like it. They like the extra vinegar and stuff. So we got mad. The manager hung up on me. I tried to call back. Nobody answered. Nobody answered. So I let it go. And about 2 weeks later, I ordered the same meal. And when the driver got there, I said, we have a credit, and I shut the door.
Very grown up of you.
Yeah.
You think that was right?
Come see, come saw.
What is come see, come saw?
Well, I had a credit.
Do you think,
I mean, the guy agreed he was going to pay me half the credit.
No. Listen to me, sir.
Okay.
You didn't have a credit. You said you wanted a credit.
No, the manager also told me he was going to give me a credit on the salad, but not the sandwich.
That's right. That's what you just told me. He
Right.
said, well, we will certainly, sir, give you a credit on the salad, because if you run the kind of house where you don't have any dressing at all in your house for 3 adults, if you can't eat the salad, we're sorry about that, but we're not going to give you a credit on the sandwich. You decided you wanted a credit on both. So when you took your food and slammed the door in the driver's face, which is what you just told me that you did, that was the wrong thing to do.
Okay.
There were a lot of other things that you could have done other than stiff the driver. Because
Well, it wasn't the driver. It was the pizza.
No, it's the driver. Because they're giving them the food, and when they come back and he says, listen, we went to somebody's house and they wouldn't give us any money, either one of two things happen. Either they say, well, we're taking it out of your money, or they call you. Did they call you?
No.
So you don't know whether the driver got stiffed with your $12 meal. Anyway, Mr. Ergenson, it was very immature of you. And what I'm surprised about is, evidently you are a single father raising 2 children. It would seem to me that you would have enough to occupy your plate other than engaging yourself in these petty little situations that cause nothing but problems for people. Are you telling me that your girls are so perfect that you have nothing else to worry about? Or maybe they're not so perfect that you got plenty to worry about, that you were taking it out on some stranger.
No, my girls are plenty perfect. They're very
They're
good
plenty
girls.
perfect. Well, then there's something wrong with you.
Okay.
All right. Now,
For a single father that runs a business for 20 years and raises 2 girls since they've been 2 and 4, I think I'm pretty good.
well, then I want to tell you something. If your girls are perfect and you run a nice business and you don't have enough to do with your time, I'd start volunteering a little bit more, because this business is ridiculous, petty baloney. So now what you're complaining about is that the next day,
No.
2 days later,
No.
that night,
That night, I had 4 guys come to my house and try to strong-arm me for $12 at my door and threaten to ask me to come outside so we can take care of outside.
okay.
And I
so
shut
you
the
had,
door in their face.
So this little escapade of yours, then 4 people came back to your
Yeah.
house
They threatened me
and
at
wanted
this
the
place.
12, just a second, and said they wanted the $12. And
Yeah.
again, you slammed the door in their
No,
face.
I told them I have a credit. I said, where's the manager? The guy, this one over here, says, I am the manager. And I said, you're the manager from the place? Well, great. Do you remember this? He says, no. And the other guy that's not here today says, oh, you were the one that complained about the salad dressing. I said, so you know about it. You know what happened 2 weeks ago. He said, yes. And I said, okay, then you have a credit with me. If you have a problem, tell the owner to call me. We'll deal with it in court. If you want to sue me for 12, sue me for 12. So that's how it happened.
Volunteer.
They threatened me in my house.
Volunteer. It was a stupid thing to do. Should have written it off. You understand?
Yes.
You're dealing with somebody who's got a little too much time on his hands and a little bit too much aggression in his gut.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
She was up a whole night and frightened because her father acted like a jerk. That's why she was up all night, because her father acted like a big baby.
And later today,
You're not supposed to fib anytime, especially not when you're in court, because that's a fib. If your mother doesn't know it's a fib, I know it's a fib.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Mitchell Ergenson says pizza parlor owner Stephen Lindner owes for vandalism to his truck. Mitchell claims Stephen's employees doused it with salad dressing.
First of all, Mr. Ergenson, when you order a salad with dressing and a sandwich, the sandwich doesn't come with Italian dressing. So what you're doing is saying, when I asked you, well, why couldn't you eat the sandwich? You say, we'd like to put the dressing on the sandwich. You're not entitled to that. You're not entitled to that.
But
the sandwich comes alone.
Yeah.
The dressing comes with a salad. You want dressing for your sandwich, go to the store and buy a bottle of dressing so you have dressing for the sandwich.
But it's not the same dressing. Their salad dressing has their own taste and their own life. It's like when you go to different restaurants. When you go into different restaurants, do you like different salad dressings that different restaurants serve you?
Mr. Erkinson, listen to me very carefully, sir.
Okay.
Then you don't say, send me extra dressing for the sandwich that I'm not entitled to. You say, I'm prepared to pay you extra to send me extra dressing because I like dressing on my sandwich.
If they said it cost extra, I would have been happy to pay for it.
Did you? Just a second.
Happy to pay for it.
You were getting something for nothing. You wanted something for nothing. You're not entitled to that.
No, I did not.
Mr. Erkinson, you're a big baby.
Okay.
That doesn't mean you're a big baby.
Thank you.
That doesn't mean your people were entitled to vandalize his house. Now, Mr. Erkinson, I will take a look at the photographs of your house.
And my car.
And your car.
And I have the cups that they used.
I don't care about the cups
All right,
that they
and
used.
I have a new cup, too. It shows in the pictures. And I also have repairs that you might want to see.
Let me see the bills. Mr. Limner, the way to respond to someone who is behaving in an immature way is not to stoop to their level. There isn't a question in my mind, after examining these photographs, that this vandalism to the plaintiff's house was done by someone in your employ or in the employ of the restaurant. No question. You get me?
Yes, ma'am.
Ah. Now, I don't know whether you went home. I don't know whether they said, listen, he deserves it. What he did was he was acting like a baby, acting like a big baby. But you don't take the law into your own hands and commit a crime.
Absolutely not.
You want to file a police report and say he stole food from me? That's your prerogative. He did. It would be no different from him coming into a restaurant, having a meal, and getting up and leaving, and saying, well, the last time I was here, I didn't have a good meal, and I wanted a credit, and they wouldn't give me a credit. So this time, I'm enjoying my meal, but I'm not paying for it. No different. What he did was he stole from you. And for that, oh, yes, you did, sir. There is no difference from what you did than if you walked into their restaurant or walked into a... I'm speaking. No difference than if you went into a restaurant, ate, didn't like the meal, they wouldn't give you a credit. And a week later, go back to the same restaurant, order the same meal, and get up and leave. And if the police came, they would have arrested you for theft of services, because that's what it is. They still had no right to vandalize your house. Do you understand? Yes. You don't resort to that sort of behavior because he acted like a jerk.
And came to my house and threatened me in my house.
No, ma'am.
And my daughter will attest to all that, too.
Listen, I don't want to get your daughter involved. It's bad enough she had to be involved. It's bad enough she had to be involved with it because of your stupidity.
From these guys doing this.
No, listen to me.
She was.
Listen to me. She was up a whole night and frightened because her father acted like a jerk. That's why she was up all night, because her father acted like a big baby. Cost you $229.23. Is that right?
And lost wages in my work.
Well, that's too bad. Counted lost wages in for acting like a jerk. They're not allowed to vandalize your property. Cost you $229. I hope it felt good. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Just 1 second. $229.23 less 12. $217.23. Judgment for the plaintiff. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Apparently, I didn't bring him his dressings, which I did offer to bring back, which he did not want.
I just wanted my order the way it should have. When they didn't bring me any, I was a little upset.
He yelled at me for a good 6 minutes or so in the middle of the street.
About principle.
I just think it's about respect between customer and business.
He was enraged, and he slammed the door in my face, and that was it.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of White versus York. Step forward, please.
Lisa White is suing business owner Susan York for the cost to repair her vehicle. Lisa claims Susan's son, 8-year-old Dylan, hit it with a rock.
Miss White, it is your complaint that Miss York's little boy, I assume this little boy, was throwing rocks in the street, and one of the rocks hit your car, causing some damage.
That's correct.
And you want his mother to pay for the damage. Miss York says she doesn't think her son was responsible for that. He was merely rolling rocks, although she wasn't there. She says that it was really your conduct that was outrageous on that day. So tell me when this happened.
It was approximately 7 to 7:15 in the morning on May 12th. I was on my way to work. I was traveling down East Yacht Drive.
Where is that?
It's in Oak Island, North Carolina. As I approached the intersection where the children were, they were in the street.
How many children were in the street?
Approximately 5, 2 boys and 2 or 3 girls.
I assume they were waiting for the school bus?
That's correct.
Okay.
As I approached, I noticed that they were playing in the street, so I slowed down. They moved to the shoulder of the intersection. One little boy was throwing stones into the other empty lot across the street, and as I approached, Dylan threw a rock at my car, and I heard it hit.
You saw him do that?
Yes, ma'am.
So you stopped your car, and what did you do?
I got out, and I'm like, you, come here, what's your name? And I said, look at what you've done to my car. I said, where do you live? He said, down the street. I said, you get in my car, and I'm taking you to your mother to show her what you're doing at the bus stop. Well, he had extra stones in his other hand, and he threw those down. I said, no, you pick those up, you put them in my car, and we're going now. So he got into the car, and I took him straight to his mother's house. I told him to go upstairs and take the stones with him to show whoever was there. I didn't know which parent was home. I said, take those and show them what you've been throwing at my car, and send them downstairs to talk to me. And she came down to talk with me.
And what did she say?
Well, she asked him, did he do it? And why did you do that? I've told you not to throw stones. I told her.
What did he say?
He's like, well, it was an accident. I'm like, no, it was not. I saw him do it.
He said to his mother it was an accident.
That's correct.
Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Stand up next to your mother. Dylan, how could it be an accident if you were throwing the stones?
I was rolling them across the road, and she was going like 70.
Dylan, I don't want your nose to get long. I want you to tell me how it's an accident that stones that you were rolling on the ground hit somebody's car.
I rolled it, it bounced up on another.
You rolled it and it bounced up? A rock?
It hit another rock and it bounced.
That's a fib, Dylan. You're not supposed to fib anytime, especially not when you're in court, because that's a fib. If your mother doesn't know it's a fib, I know it's a fib. You and your friends were throwing rocks, right?
Yes.
And one of the rocks hit her car.
Yes.
See how easy that was?
Yes.
What your complaint is, Miss York, and one that I quite frankly find compelling, is that Miss White exercised very poor judgment in putting your son in her car.
This is correct.
Because I don't think North Carolina is any different from any other place in this country. You don't take somebody else's child and put them in your car. That's very poor judgment, Miss White. I don't think there would have been anything wrong in you saying, if you live right down the street, you go right home, I'm going to follow you, so that you would know where he lived. But you don't take anybody else's child and put them in your car. Now, can I see a picture of the damage to your car?
I do have a photo, but you cannot see the actual dents or chips in the car, in the paint.
Well, it should just be one.
No, there's actually several. I have a police report stating that the officer noted 6 chips areas.
Well, he didn't chip it 6 times. He threw one rock. That's according to you.
He had several stones in his other hand. I don't know how many stones actually hit.
I don't know how many children were involved in throwing stones, but you said to me, I saw him throw a stone. I heard it hit my car. There's a difference in hearing 1 or hearing 6.
Your Honor, may I say something?
Mm-hmm.
When she drove to my house, I saw one little dot, and then in return, it ended up being dents. I never saw a dent. She even herself said it probably won't be much.
Well, what she's suing you for is $300.
Yes, ma'am.
Which isn't much. I think what your complaint is, quite frankly, despite the fact that I read your answer, and your answer gave me the same malarkey that he was rolling stones. Children don't roll stones. They throw stones at cars. And that's what he did, because that's what he just told me he did.
Right, yes, ma'am.
So you're responsible, because if you want to make sure that your son doesn't do that, and I assume he's done it before, right?
Not that I'm aware of, no, ma'am.
Never heard of him throwing rocks before?
Not at cars.
At anything?
I mean, he's a little boy. I guess he does throw rocks, yes.
Okay, well, if he's a little boy and he throws rocks, then you should be out there with him waiting for the school bus.
Your Honor, I would like to say, when he came home from school, I had asked him what happened. And he admitted that he had been rolling rocks.
Rolling rocks doesn't...
Rolling rocks, throwing rocks, and one hit her car. And then he proceeded to show me how she forcefully put him in her car. I have a written statement for...
I don't take statements from people. She had no right to put him in the car, take him in the car, ask him to get into the car, pick him up. Absolutely no right to do that. He wasn't injured. He went off to school that day. Did you go off to school that day?
Yes.
Did you have a good day in school that day?
Yes.
So he wasn't injured, emotionally or physically. But she did the wrong thing, and I've told her she did the wrong thing. So I read her the Riot Act. You still have to pay to have a car fixed.
That's fine.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $300. That's all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Excuse me, step out.
Kimberly Shuren is suing her ex-boyfriend, 33-year-old musician Steve Brown, for charges he made on her credit card. Steve says Kimberly incurred the charges when she went on the road with his band.
Order. All rise. Yeah, this is case number 78 on the calendar in the matter of Shuren versus Brown. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated. Folks, have seats, please.
Ms. Shuren, the defendant was your boyfriend, who you claim used your credit card with your permission, with a promise that he would return the money that he used on the credit card. Is that right? Mm-hmm. The defendant says that he has a band that travels and that he did use your credit card.
Yes, ma'am.
And the credit card was used for your expenses at a time when you decided that you wanted to travel with a band. And if I understand you, Mr. Brown, your defense is that when you and the members of your band travel together, you minimize those expenses by sharing rooms, lodging, etc. You had to have a separate room with her.
Yes, ma'am.
You explained that carefully to her so that I assume that most of the charges that were made on her credit card were lodging expenses, right?
There
Good,
was some-
because that's your defense. So this is going to be an easy case. Let me see the expenses on the credit card.
Yes, ma'am, I have...
I read your defense, so without any further fanfare, let me see if we have a whole bunch of lodging expenses.
I have the credit card, and I made a list here, too.
Well, we have a motel in Loxley, Alabama. Then we have a charge for Guitar Center, Atlanta, Georgia.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that your charge?
That was the charge.
Is that your charge?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that a motel? Is
No,
it a
ma'am.
hotel? Motel or hotel?
No, ma'am.
What is it?
It's a guitar store.
Does she play the guitar?
No, ma'am.
So it was your guitar.
It was equipment.
It was equipment. It wasn't a guitar.
For special effects.
Shh, just a second.
Sorry.
That's not a hotel. Explain me.
Okay. Some of the things she bought on the credit card were gifts. There was the one thing that she bought me at Guitar Center was microphones, but that was paid back in cash.
Did he pay you back for that?
No, ma'am. I have a copy of all the payments that were made. I have the checkbook.
You have any proof that you paid her back this $331 for the Guitar Center?
No, ma'am.
Perfect. $331. Then we have goodies. What is that? Is that your charge?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Music Gear, Columbus, Georgia. Is that a motel?
No, ma'am.
What is it?
That's a music store.
It's a music store for you.
I assume, yes.
What's Fat Tuesday? Gulf Shore, Alabama.
That's where he stayed. That's where they were playing at Fat Tuesdays.
Then we have oil, gasoline, I assume, in Awassa, Alabama. Some big gigs. $18. What's that?
I'm not sure.
Well, where do you come from?
Pine Mountain, Georgia.
In Georgia.
Pine Mountain.
So if there's a charge here from Alabama for gasoline, that would be you.
Not necessarily, because Columbus, Georgia, and Pine Mountain is right on the line to where you can. It's crossover in Alabama.
It's a 1 hour drive. May I say something, please? I had went through all the charges and I put it in order. First charge was the Guitar Center, where he bought equipment, $331. Goodies Columbus was where he bought clothing. Played again sports. He wanted to play golf while he was in Gulf Shores.
I'm looking at the credit card, Bill.
Okay, see, but I put it all in
Those
order.
are your lists. That's
in the
your
way.
list.
I thought it would be easier for you to look at.
No. I like to look here. I like to look here. Williams Super Center In Phoenix City, Alabama. What is that?
I have no idea what that is.
Well, maybe you'll explain it to me. Miss Shuren.
That's the Walmart Supercenter in Phoenix City.
Oh, okay.
Walmart
WM.
Supercenter.
See, I'm so old-fashioned. It's the Walmart Supercenter. Do you know what that's for?
Is that the one for $240?
Yes.
That was a Nintendo.
Nintendo.
That was also a gift.
You didn't sleep on it or with it, did you?
No.
Where's the Nintendo?
It's at my house now.
Good, then you pay for it. $240.56. Old Glory Distribution T-shirts, $125.60. Is that a bill that you're charging to him?
It's all his, Your Honor. I never used any of it.
Any of his credit card?
No, the agreement was that I would get the credit card in my name for his use and that he would make the payments.
You mean all of these payments?
He would make payments on the credit card.
You never used this for yourself
I
at
never
all?
used any of it for my purpose.
Oh, okay. So I have to make sure that...
It was a brand new card, never used. The membership fee, $50. He went to Guitar Center to get equipment. He got golfing equipment to play golf. And then he went to Gulf Shores. And then there's gas, there's Fat Tuesdays where they played, his food, there's the hotel. And when he got back from the trip to Gulf Shores and I got the first credit card statement and saw how much he had charged, I told him that the next time he uses that card, he better bring me some receipts. And then that was the last that he used of it.
So the balance on this card, the new balance is $1,097, sir, and it's not all for lodging.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Kimberly Shuren says ex-boyfriend Steve Brown owes for unpaid credit card charges. Steve says they're Kimberly's charges.
Guitar Center, eating, gasoline, a lot of gasoline, because I assume you did a lot of traveling with your band.
Excuse me, Your Honor.
Yeah.
All these things that are on this card were not purchased by me or even for me.
Really? You want to look over this and tell me?
Would you like
What?
I have a list.
Stop with your list.
I'm sorry.
I don't want to see your list. I want him to look at the actual charges on this credit card.
Go ahead and look at them.
Tell me which ones aren't yours, sir. Well, let's...
May I say something?
No.
Okay.
Ms. Shuren, you don't get any cameos or any awards for being stupid and giving somebody a credit card.
That's right.
Right? I've been saying that for enough years so that any normal person would not do that. Bert, how old is your oldest child?
18.
She have your credit card?
No, Judge. She watches the show, too.
Yeah, right. She may have asked.
No.
Didn't even ask.
Didn't even ask. Knew better.
Knew better.
She's got 2 jobs, though.
And you love her.
I'm crazy about her.
And she doesn't have your credit card.
And she can't have my credit card.
And you know her for 18 years.
I've known her all those years.
You got it, Miss Shuren?
Yes, ma'am.
As far as...
Okie dokie.
Yes, ma'am. As far as everything on here, the only things I can't actually prove them, but the service merchandise, for $58.62.
That was that blue boombox, the radio?
Mr. Brown, why don't you
Yes,
use your
ma'am.
own credit card?
Because he said it's
Shh. Why don't you use your own credit card?
I don't have one right now.
Is this the first time you've used a woman's credit card?
Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to ask the rest of the members of your band. All right. Well, I don't know what you marked here, sir.
I didn't mark anything. The only thing that's on there is the gas receipts. She acts as if she doesn't drive and put gas in her car.
No, what she's saying, sir, is she didn't use this credit card at all. That you used the credit card. You were going to look through this and tell me which charges were not yours.
There's no charges on there that I could prove that weren't mine.
Oh, what an easy case. My own information. How long did you know him before you gave him this credit card?
1.5 years.
Were you living together?
Yes, Your Honor.
Who paid the rent?
I did, and my sister.
Who paid the telephone?
Me and my sister.
Who paid the gas and electric?
We did, me and my sister.
So that went on for 1.5 years before you gave him the credit card?
Yes.
Judgment for the
Your
plaintiff
Honor.
in the amount of $1,154.94. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
So I thought, since he wasn't paying any rent or any utilities, that he would at least have the money to pay the credit card.
Everything was fine until we broke up, and then she decided that I owed her for everything she's ever spent.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Coleman versus Denies. Step forward, please.
20-year-old sales associate Michelle Coleman is suing her ex-boyfriend, 22-year-old auto painter Brad Denies, for illegally repossessing her car. Brad is countersuing, claiming Michelle wrecked 2 of his cars.
Ms. Coleman, you and the defendant were engaged to be married, and according to your complaint, during the course of your engagement, you were not engaged.
We were not engaged.
That's a lie.
So I...
So then let's get to the second thing maybe we can agree on, that you bought a car.
Yes.
That is in both your names, as well as the car loan.
Yes.
Then according to your complaint, you broke up, you kept the car. For some reason, which you will explain to me, the car was impounded. He got the car out of impound, paid the fees to get it out of impound, he kept the car. You want all the payments back that you made on the car plus your down payment. How much was the down payment?
$4,000.
He is counterclaiming for 2 cars that you allegedly damaged in April of 2000.
Yes.
Sir, do you admit or deny that she put down the down payment?
She used her check to put the down payment, yes. But half the money was mine because she owed me rent.
Where'd she owe you rent from?
From the time we lived together, which was 9 months.
That's a lie. We never lived
Just
together.
a minute.
Yes, we did live together.
Just a second. So what you're telling me is part of the money was yours because she owed you money.
Yes.
Did you tell her that at the time?
Yes.
Look at me and tell me what you said to her when you signed the papers for the car loan.
I said that we are going to go in this car together, 50-50, because you were saving up for a car. When you lived with me, I didn't make you pay no rent, no utilities, so you could save up for your own car.
And what?
And that's it.
And that's it. Okay, so let me explain something to you. You didn't put any money down towards the car. The fact, Mr. Denies, that you just said to me, there was an agreement, and I'm taking your word, that you did live together, and your agreement was that she wouldn't pay any bills, but save up to buy a car. That's what you just said to me.
Yes.
Fine. Put your hand down. She didn't owe you the money. So $4,000 you put down on the car.
Yes.
Okay. And then you drove the car for how many months?
About 4 months, 5 months.
Until what date did you drive the car?
The car was impounded in November. So November.
How was the car impounded? Under what circumstances?
I started seeing a new guy, and I loaned him the car. He didn't tell me he didn't have a license. He called me and told me that my car was impounded.
You got the car out of impound?
Yes, I did, ma'am.
Tell me the circumstances surrounding you getting the car out of impound.
I called her about 2 weeks before it got out of impound, and I said, what are we going to do about the car? She says, well, if you bail it out, then you can take over the $800 payments. And I go, you want me to do that? She goes, I don't care.
Okay. Now, when he bailed the car out, when he got it out of impound December 18th, did you have any further conversation with him?
Yes, I did. I told him that I was going to fight for it because I wanted my car back.
So did you sue him in December?
No, I did not.
Did you sue him in January?
No, I did not.
Did you sue him in February?
No, I did not.
Did you sue him in March?
That's when I started getting everything going.
Did you sue him in March?
No, I did not.
What were you driving?
I had bought another car.
Right. How did I know that? How much did it cost you to get the car out of impound?
$805.
You have a receipt for that?
Yes, ma'am.
Let me see it, please.
It was supposed to actually cost $795, but they charged us an extra $15 for cleanup of glass because her and her boyfriend broke a bunch of glass outside.
$805. So we are deducting $805 from the $4,000. Now let's get to your counterclaim. You say that while together she damaged 2 of your cars. You want to tell me about that, Miss Coleman?
I was pulling into the driveway, and his '66 Mustang doesn't have power steering, and I didn't turn it hard enough, and I dented the door of his other car.
Do you have a paid bill with regard to that?
Yes, ma'am.
Can I see it, please?
Yeah, it's both of them.
These are estimates. Was the work done on the car?
Those are receipts, actually, ma'am.
They're both preliminary estimates.
Ma'am, he did all the work himself.
It says, if you read in it, it says paid in cash, and it has a date that it was paid in cash. My father paid for it.
What, sir? Step up.
Your Honor, those are copies of the original.
Who paid this money?
I did.
Well, let's see if this gentleman knows anything about this.
There was nothing wrong with the quarter panel.
Yes, good morning. This is Judge Judy Scheindlin. Who am I speaking to? Can you tell me what your job is there? You're a paint prepper. Okay. Do you work on most of the cars that come through there? Okay. I have Brad Denys, D-E-N-Y-S. Do you know him? Do you recall doing any work on a 1966 Ford Mustang and a 1992 Ford Mustang? You don't. If work was done on those two cars, you know, the old Mustangs, and it involved painting, that would have been your job. So you do all of that, okay? And you have not worked on either a 66 or a 92 Ford Mustang. No. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. They didn't paint your car there.
Yes, they did.
You know who was on the phone? The only person in the shop that does the paint prep work on cars. I'm going to dismiss without prejudice your counterclaim. The 4 months in car payments that you paid, you had the use of your car. You drove it.
Yes.
Pay for it. It's not going to pay for that. And I find that through your own negligence, you allowed your car to be driven by someone who had absolutely no reason to drive your car because they had a bad license.
Yes.
And in order to get the car out of the impound, he, in fact, had to pay $805 to do that.
I had the money to go down.
And I further find that you had no intention of getting the car out because you went and you bought yourself a new car. So I am deducting the $805 from the $4,000 that you put down as a down payment. What are you doing with this car now, Mr. Denys?
I drive it.
Good. So you put down for that car $3,195. That was your down payment. That you have to pay her back.
$1,500 of the dollars was towards tax. $1,500 also was toward a extended warranty, which I did not want.
Who cares? You got it. You bought it. And you're going to enjoy it. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $3,195. That's all.
World homemaker Kathy O'Connor is suing her cousins, Linda and Lonnie Butler, for the cost of 2 Cocker Spaniel and the return of property.
Order. All rise.
Yes, this is case number 116 on the calendar in the matter of O'Connor versus Butler. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have seats.
Miss O'Connor, I've read your complaint very carefully. Last June, you became ill and you were hospitalized. And you developed some severe complications. You have a child, a boy. How old is your boy?
He's 8.5.
When you went into the hospital, you left your son with your father. With whom?
My 2 sons, and there's another older teenager.
They were clearly unable to take care of him because your father, at some point, gave guardianship of your son to your cousins who were the defendants. Is that right?
Yes.
When was that? When did you take physical custody of the boy?
August 19th.
You were released when in August?
The 30th of August.
Then there was some issue as to whether they were going to give you the child back. On what day did you actually turn custody back over to the mother?
November 17th, 2000.
Your claim is as follows, Miss O'Connor. You say that about 1.5 years or so ago, you sold your cousins 2 Cocker Spaniels and they've never paid you. The second part of your claim is you say that they didn't return some of your son's clothing when they finally turned custody back over to you. That's your claim. Is that right?
Yes, it is.
Let's deal with the dogs first. When did you give the dogs to the Butlers?
It was around June, early June.
June of what year?
2000, I believe.
How old were the dogs?
One was 2 and one was 4. It was a mother and daughter.
Why could you no longer care for these 2 dogs?
Her dog, Bucky, was a Cocker Spaniel, and it died. So this is the reason why I didn't give it to her. She said she'd pay me back. She would pay me.
I'm asking you a question. You've got 2 dogs, 2 and 4 years old, that are living with you, that I assume you're attached to. Why did you get rid of the dogs?
She told me she'd have a better home for them and that she can groom them herself. It was very expensive to groom them for me because I had it done.
So that's why you weren't able to take care of the dogs. You didn't want to do the grooming anymore.
Right.
Right. Now, what makes you think, first of all, these dogs are worth $200 a piece, which is what you...
$375 for the mother.
Yes.
And sold her puppies for $250.
So?
That's what I bought the dog for.
Okay. I'll hear you. Go ahead. Let's hear about the dogs first.
As far as the dogs, we were there on a Sunday. She was about ready to put the dogs in the paper. And I told her I would take them. Yes, Bucky did pass away. But that's not why I wanted them, is because they needed a home.
Well, what was she going to put them in the paper for?
To sell them for money. My husband was there and my daughter was there as witnesses. She says, go ahead and take the dogs. They're very neglected. She couldn't take care of them anymore.
Nobody buys a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old dog, madam, for $200 a piece. That's where you read for adoption. Can't take care of them anymore. These are adult dogs. Let's leave the dogs for a second. You went into the hospital. You've got 2 sons. You've got somebody else. How come your child ended up with your cousins?
My father took it upon himself. He didn't say, can I have them or anything. He took them out of the home. He dumped out 7 full-size drawers of Gabriel's clothes.
There must have been a reason for that, Miss O'Connor. How old are your sons?
20, 18, and 8.5.
20 and 18?
Yes.
So your father probably was using his brain and figured out that your 8-year-old wasn't being properly taken care of by your 20-year-old son and your 18-year-old son. Don't you think that's possible?
He was going to school every day.
Miss O'Connor, what do you possibly think motivated your father to come and take him out of the house when the mother isn't there and you got 2 teenage boys in the house in charge of an 8-year-old? What do you think your father was thinking? He wanted to do something to spite you?
Yes.
Yes? You the 2 sons?
I'm one of them.
Which one, 18 or 20?
18.
Step up. Were you there when your grandfather came and took your little brother?
Yes, I was.
Tell me about that. Did you have a conversation with him?
Yes, he said we wouldn't be able to afford food for him, so he would come and take him and bring him into a better home where they could take care of him a little bit better.
And what did you say?
I said, okay.
Good. Sit down. By the way, were you working?
No,
What about your 20-year-old brother? Was he working?
not at the time.
So how were you living?
On what was in the kitchen.
That's why your father took your son, turned him over to cousins who took care of him.
But wouldn't give him back.
Well, evidently they felt as if he had been a little neglected, madam.
Yes, ma'am. They wouldn't give him back.
Ultimately, a court gave him back to you. Is that right?
Yes.
But not right away.
I had to go through 3 courts.
But not right away. Right. While you were in the hospital, you say that they took care of him for 3 weeks. Did you thank them?
Yes.
When did you thank them?
Over the phone.
Did you say, do I owe you any money?
She got his checks.
What checks?
His Social Security. His father had died.
Yes.
My husband died. So he got the Social Security
Right.
money. That's what she was getting.
How many Social Security checks did you get? Yes.
Ma'am, I've had him since August 19th. I didn't get paid until October, November. All of August and September, I did it from my heart.
How did you manage to get a check for October?
I went to Rancho Cucamonga Police Department and went to court. They gave me temporary custody. That's what opened the doors for that boy.
Month of August, month of September, she got no money. Where were his checks going in August and September?
August, I'm in the hospital. I got it I got it August. I got one September.
Where did the money go?
In my bank account.
Well, why didn't you send them the money?
I wasn't talking to her by then. She couldn't talk to me. She got too hostile.
All right. Let's forget about the dogs. You gave the dogs away because you couldn't take care of them. ages 2 and 4 years old. Not worth $400 or $500. Absolutely not. And not only that, but you didn't even ask for him back.
Yes, I did.
When? When?
When she started talking to me when I had child visitations with my son Gabriel.
When you were angry with her?
I wasn't angry. She was angry.
When you were angry with her because she wouldn't give your son back?
She was angry that I got visitations to my son to take him every Saturday. And that's a 2.5-hour drive.
So that's when you asked for your dogs back?
Yeah, she only had one. The other one she sold.
Did you sell?
I gave her away because she had a howling problem.
Who did you give the dog to?
It was a lady in the newspaper.
I would like the dogs back.
Well, you can't have them back. Gave them away. All right, let's talk about clothes. What clothes do you say they have?
My dad emptied out in trash bags 7 full-size drawers, his socks, underwear, everything was taken.
Right.
And when I finally won the last battle, November 17th, I got 2 trash bags, 2 little trash bags of clothes. Plus, it was his birthday. I bought him all kinds of stuffed toys and everything, and I didn't see any of that come back.
How much does Gabriel get from Social Security?
$557
a month.
Yes.
Okay. That's about $1,100 for the 2 months that your son was with them that you put in your bank, right? You put that money in your bank, right? Money that was supposed to go for the support. I'm speaking. Money that was supposed to go for the support of the child, you put in your checking account.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Kathy O'Connor is suing her cousins, Linda and Lonnie Butler, for the cost of 2 Cocker Spaniels and the return of property.
You took your son's money and you put it in your bank account. So if you have to buy more clothes for him, go buy more clothes for him. You think I'm going to get involved in underwear, 6 pairs of underwear, 3 pairs of shoes, a pair of sneakers? I have no intention of doing that. As far as I'm concerned, when somebody takes charge of your child because you're incapable of doing it, what do you want?
The thing is, when my grandpa came over, he said he was going to take care of him.
What difference does it make? You're 18? If you were grown up and mature and responsible, and it's the summertime, one of you goes out, gets a job, act responsibly so that your grandfather wouldn't have had to worry about your 8-year-old brother. You weren't going to do it, and she's in the hospital.
He was fine.
Oh, yeah, he was fine. I don't believe that a grandfather comes over and takes it upon himself to remove a baby, little boy, 8 years old, from a house where he thinks the child is thriving.
He was getting fed.
What do you want? Who are you?
Why is he? I'm Linda's son. Why isn't he here to testify about this?
I have no idea why he's not here. Maybe nobody brought him here. All I'm telling you is
Maybe he doesn't want
she
to
didn't take... You're whose son?
Linda's son.
Her son.
Her son?
Yes.
Were you available to take care of the 8-year-old?
At the time, I didn't know about it. I was overseas.
So what do you know now?
What I know now?
What do you know now?
About the situation going on where she had kidnapped a child.
Sit down. There was a court order, sir, when the court had at least some facts before it.
Some manipulation.
I'm speaking, which gave them temporary custody. Now, in order to establish that you're going to give a child to biological strangers, at least not a mother and father or father, there has to be some overriding neglect or abuse or abandonment. And unless you can prove any of those 3 things, long-term neglect, abuse, or abandonment, the child has to go back to the biological parent, even if the biological parent is not so terrific. Clearly, a court in October, when faced with certain facts, said, we want to take a more careful look at this situation before we return this child, so they gave them temporary custody. As far as I'm concerned, there should be a thank you here instead of a lawsuit. Your case is dismissed. That's all.
Thank you, Judge.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Thank you. To me, the evil snake needs to go on with her life.
He's not the same kid anymore.
He's a very neglected child.
And now the next case.
All parties on Briscoe versus Briscoe. Step forward, please.
47-year-old administrator Beverly Briscoe is suing her ex-husband, 49-year-old hairstylist Adolph Briscoe, for illegally repossessing her car. Adolph is countersuing for car payments, the cost of insurance, and credit card bills.
Ms. Briscoe, the defendant is your former husband.
Yes, yes.
You were married but have been divorced for many years.
Yes.
And to your credit, according to both of you, I assume, you've remained friends.
Yes, we did.
Good. And then you did a very foolish thing. You decided to buy a car from him.
Yes, I did.
Here goes the trouble. When did you decide to purchase the car?
On March the 15th.
Of this year?
Of this year.
You purchased the car for $8,000 in total.
Yes.
$4,000 was to go to Mr. Briscoe.
Yes.
The other $4,000 was what was outstanding on the loan.
Yes.
You did not change the loan to put it in her name. She was going to make the payments herself.
Yes, ma'am.
So you first paid him a total of
$1,500 on the 15th of March.
Oh, and then you made an additional payment to him. On what
Yes,
date?
On the 29th, I gave him $500. On April the 12th, I gave him $500. On April the 28th, I gave him $500.
That is
On
not
May
so.
the 12th, I gave him another $500. I have everything down here with my bank statements and everything.
Okay, let me see your bank statement. Now, just take out your bank statement, don't. Just give me the whole portfolio.
And the days that I got paid, and Mr. Briscoe I had written down the dates that I got paid.
All right. So, in total, you claim you gave him $3,500.
Yes, ma'am.
And according to what I've read, you made an additional 2 payments to the bank.
Yes.
And then, in the 3rd month, he claims you were late in the car payment, and he came and repossessed the car.
Yes, a day late. I didn't breach my contract with Mr. Briscoe. He was very upset at me because someone that I chose to be in my life, and this is the person here.
I don't care. I put the picture away. I don't care who you chose to be in your life.
But that's why he was upset, and he chose to come get the car from me on the 21st of May.
When is the car payment due?
On the 20th.
On the 20th.
Had you mailed the payment in?
I was getting ready to mail it on the 22nd.
So you hadn't mailed it in?
No, I haven't.
So they weren't going to get it at least for another 2 or 3 days?
Yes, and the month before that, I mailed it on the 26th. He didn't give me a call then. That's when we were still friends.
Did she give you $3,500?
No, she did not.
How much did she give you, sir?
She gave me $2,500.
Well, this doesn't show. This just shows that you took out money.
I have money orders on the back.
Money orders?
Yes, of $500.
Just a minute. I have 5, 10, 15.
And the other 2 I was gave him
$1,500.
cash. I can't show you anything because I gave him cash the first 2 times. He know that I gave him $1,500. Then I gave on the 29th, I gave him...
Was it $1,500 in cash, sir?
Yes, it was.
Then I have 3 money orders made out to you in the amount of $500 each, which brings the total on this to $3,000, not $2,500.
Then I am $500 off.
When I gave him the $1,500, that was
He
cash.
acknowledges that you gave him the $1,500
But he can't remember
in cash.
the other, on the 29th, he can't remember
Maybe
that
not.
also. No.
Okay, it's $3,000. The 2 car payments that you made to him, he drove the car.
Yes.
For those 2
I don't
months.
want the money back for that.
Fine.
Because I drove the car.
Okay, now let's get to your counterclaim, Mr. Briscoe. According to you, several years ago, you weren't feeling well, and your former wife came to take care of you, and you were feeling very benevolent towards her. So you decided to give her a credit card to help her out, or a
Yes.
couple of credit cards to help
Yes.
her out. Tell me about these credit cards. Did you take
Yes,
credit
he gave
cards
me the
from him?
credit cards. He gave them to me in December. I have payments that I made each month to the credit card place. Adolph eventually turned them off. I have a tape that he said he's going to cut everything off when we had the argument on April the 20th.
So how much do you owe on the credit cards?
I owed, I believe on one of them I owe like maybe $900.
And on the other one?
Probably about 2 or 3.
How much does she owe on the credit cards?
She owes $1,500 total.
Show me.
On
Just show me. She may not be 100% right. She's not so far off.
And
Yes.
Judge Judy, he turned them off, so I couldn't make arrangements to pay him.
Okay. Fine.
And I have him on tape saying he's going to turn them off. And
So he
did
turned
just
them
do
off.
that.
That doesn't mean you don't have to pay him.
But I couldn't make arrangements because they said they cut off. They're closed, lost credit cards. I couldn't make any arrangement. He closed them out.
$1,250. Well, that's about what you said.
Yes, ma'am. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, you want her to pay what else, sir?
There's another credit card as well for $500, which
Show
I
me.
have told I have paid $200.
No, I have to see the balance. I have to see her balance on that credit card.
They were going to send me all of that, and they didn't send it in
Well,
time.
I can't help you with that,
Okay.
And
sir.
Judge Judy, they'll just do $29. And Adolph, if he wouldn't have turned it off, I could pay that.
You owe him the money.
Okay.
My question to you, Mr. Briscoe,
Yes.
is why didn't you give her back the money she had paid you? You took the car back.
Right.
Do you think you're entitled to keep the $3,000 that she paid you for
Absolutely,
the car?
I have.
Shh.
You
So
asked
the
me.
answer is yes. You think
Yes.
you're entitled to keep that money?
Absolutely.
Well, explain to me why, sir.
Your Honor, when they collect your car and you don't pay your payments, no one gives you any
you
money
were
back.
late for 2
Mrs.
months when I
Briscoe,
took care of
Miss
you.
Briscoe,
Yes, ma'am.
I don't want to hear you when he's speaking. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
You are not Ford Motor Corporation.
I am the one that's
You are not.
responsible for
You
the
are
car.
not Ford Motor Corporation. If after
So
2
she
months,
drives
sir,
my
I'm
car for
speaking.
3 months?
Try not to speak over me, Mr. Briscoe. You will be unsuccessful. If she paid you $3,000, and I'm discounting the money she says she gave you in cash because she has no
She didn't
proof
give
of
me
that.
any money. Yes.
I'm speaking. If she gave you $3,000 and you took the car back within 2 months, you don't get to keep her
3
$3,000. 3 months.
Yes.
You don't get to keep her $3,000. In addition, for the car payments she made, part of that went towards your principal on your loan. That helped you out a little bit, but she drove the car, and I'm not going to get into the pennies that it was to pay off certain percentage of the loan over the 2 months period, but you certainly came out on top with regard to that. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I understand, absolutely.
Well, if he doesn't understand, if you had time, you'll explain it to him outside. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,788, which deducts what you own for the credit card. That's all.
Parties are excused.
Is suing her boyfriend's niece, 23-year-old correctional officer Georgia Garza, for keying her truck. Georgia says Mary Ann is vicious and is making up a story.
Order. All rise.
Yes, this is case number 338 on the calendar in the matter of Kaiser versus Garza. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated. Sir, have a seat, please.
Miss Kaiser, the defendant is your boyfriend's niece.
Correct.
Boyfriend?
Yes.
Niece.
Correct.
And it is your claim that she vandalized your car by keying it.
Correct.
According to you, Miss Garza, your uncle was highly inebriated.
Mm-hmm.
And he couldn't drive home from a club or a party that you were at?
That's correct.
So you and a friend decided to drive him home.
Yes, ma'am.
Where he was living with the plaintiff.
Yes, ma'am.
And what date was this? Do you remember?
We had went out on Thursday, it was July the 20th, and we left the club approximately at about 2:30 in the morning.
Were you with your uncle?
No, I was there with a friend, and we ran into him.
What made you think he was too drunk to drive home?
Because he was stumbling, and the guy from the door had taken his keys because he had parked right in front of the door.
So you volunteered to drive his car home?
That's correct.
What happened when you got to the house?
When we got to the house, Mary Ann had locked the door, and he was upset. We had to help him up the stairs. He started banging on the door. She came out. She started cursing and yelling that I had him out, and she was just saying all sorts of types of stuff. And we just helped him in the apartment. She kept telling us that we had to leave, and she was yelling at us. And my uncle was wanting us to stay there because he wanted us to drink another beer with him. And I was telling him...
That was the last thing you needed.
I was telling him that I had to go because I had to go home to my baby. And she was telling me to leave, and my uncle was persistent. And then they got into altercation. We proceeded towards the door. My friend opened the door. When she opened the door slammed because it was kind of windy outside. And she started cursing again. We were walking down the stairs. We just ignored her because she looked intoxicated herself. She was yelling at us down the stairs, and we just ignored her because she was making an idiot out of herself.
Okay. And you went home?
That's correct.
Okay. So your boyfriend went out that night?
Right.
Had he asked you to join him?
No.
Were you annoyed with him?
We were mad at each other at the time. So he decided to leave on his own. So he went.
And they came home?
They came home at approximately 2:35 in the morning.
Go ahead.
They stood at the door. When I opened the door, I said, "What are they doing here?" And he said, "Well, they're here to have a drink with me." And I said, "Well, they're not going to have a drink with you." She said, "Well, I had to drive him home." And I said, "Well, fine, thank you. Give me the keys." So I get the keys. They still step in. I stood by the door, and I told him, "You're not going to have another beer, so you might as well leave." Then I asked him, I said, "Who is this other girl?" He goes, "I don't know. It's her friend." And she goes, "My friend Lori." I said, "What are you doing bringing strangers home?" And then he goes, "Well,
you
they
were
just
wrong
gave-"
at that. You were wrong at that point.
And I asked him...
Because you didn't know the story.
That she drove him home?
You didn't know the whole story. I mean, if she was with her friend
and they were leaving the club.
Well, they
and
were
he was drunk, and he was drunk. They weren't together.
Well, she had
Why are
already
you
told
being
me.
Why are you being aggressive to her at all?
Because her and I do not communicate. She drove him home fine. I said, thank you, give me the keys. She gave them to me, and I said, you guys can go home. You're not going to have another beer.
Okay, go ahead. No, she didn't
Not
say.
now.
No, listen to me, Ms. Kaiser. She didn't say she was going to have another beer. Your drunken boyfriend said.
She said he wants us to have another beer. I said, you're not going to have another beer. So I repeatedly asked him to leave again and again, and they still wouldn't. So then I started, getting upset. Yes, I did. Her friend Lori slams the door open, rushes down the stairs. She starts cursing me, and she goes after her, doing the same thing too downstairs. So I did it up here. I did it up here too, yes. A few minutes later, I go try to move my truck from the back to the front, and I see them keying my truck. So I didn't say anything. I let them do it. I came back in, came to get him. He was out already.
You said that you saw them keying your truck? What were you going out to move your truck for at 2:30?
I was going to move it to the front.
Why?
Because I don't normally park it in the back. I always park it at the front. But there was no parking space at the time.
Yeah.
When they left, I saw that there was a space right there, so I went to go move my truck. And there they were.
At 3 o'clock in the morning?
I'm sorry?
At 3 o'clock in the morning?
At 3 o'clock in the morning, I just decided to go move it, and there they were. But it was a good thing I did. I saw them.
What did you see her do?
Writing all kinds of things on my truck. They were keying it, both of them.
Let me see the damage to the truck. You file a police report?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
I'd like to see it, please.
One of her favorite words is on my truck, too.
Is this the only police report you have, Miss Kaiser?
Yes, ma'am.
And you spoke to somebody on the phone? Or
Yes,
did you
ma'am.
go there?
No, I spoke to them over the phone. She said, you might as well just give me everything over the phone because they're not going to do anything about it.
That's not true.
No, well, they were going to do the same procedure she was going to do with me over the phone.
The police would have done something about it, Miss Kaiser, if you had said to them on the phone, I saw who did the damage. But you didn't say that to the police.
Yes, I told them.
No, you didn't. I contacted Miss Kaiser by phone in reference to the criminal mischief. Victim 1, that's you, believes Miss Garza involved party 1 and an acquaintance may have done the listed damage to the vehicle while it was parked at the above location, but is not sure.
They did do these damages to my truck.
Victim 1 stated that there are some vulgar words keyed on the
Georgia
vehicle.
knows. She knows that they did it. I
That's
know.
not my question, Miss Kaiser. You give a police report. If you say to the police, my car was vandalized and I saw the perpetrators do it, then they write down perpetrator 1 keyed car, perpetrator 2 keyed car. I'm going to read to you again, but the police department says you told them on the phone. Victim 1 believes Miss Garza and an acquaintance may have done the damage to her vehicle while it was parked at the above location, but is not sure.
I told them I know it was them.
You didn't tell them that you saw them do the damage, Miss
Yes, I did.
Kaiser.
I saw
No,
them.
you didn't.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Marianne Kaiser says her boyfriend's niece, Georgia Garza, keyed nasty slurs into the side of her truck.
Now, I'm not saying that they didn't do it. I want you to trust me. I'm not saying that they didn't do it. I'm saying that you just lied to me when you said you saw them do it. Because you didn't see them do it. You surmised that they did it because the car was in one condition when you parked it. It was in this condition the next day when you went out to look at it, not at 3 o'clock in the morning, but the next day when you went out to look at it or when you went to drive it. And the only ones who had an opportunity, an inclination to do the damage is her.
Right.
And her friend.
They did it.
But, Miss Kaiser, I want you to try to pay attention. I'm not saying they didn't do it. I'm saying you lied to me when you told me a moment ago that you saw them do it. Because if you saw them do it, that's what you would have told the police, and you didn't. You said you believe it was her, you believe it was her girlfriend, but you're not sure, which is why they didn't go out and arrest them.
Now I'm going to get to you. You keyed her car.
No.
Oh, yes, you did. Oh, honey, yes, you did.
Why would I key her car if I don't even talk to her? Let there be one idiot, not two. She was the one yelling at the top of her lungs.
Miss Garza, there isn't a question in my mind that you keyed her car. You and your girlfriend keyed her car because you were out at the club all night, probably had a couple of drinks. You left your baby home, so you had to rush home to your baby at 3 o'clock in the morning. That's normal. But here you did a good deed by driving your uncle home, and what you were met with was this lady who was being very unpleasant to you. Unpleasant, rude,
right?
No question. Threw you out of the house. You drove your uncle home. You went out of your way. She was nasty to your girlfriend. She was nasty to you. You got outside, and you keyed her car.
Your Honor, she works at a bar. It could have been anybody.
Could have been, but I'm telling you it wasn't. It was you. Let me see the damage. Can I see the bill to fix the car, please? Now, ordinarily, Miss Kaiser, I want to tell you something. I would throw you out. I want you to listen carefully. And so would most judges throw you out if you come into court and you don't tell the truth. They would say, I don't care whether your claim is a valid one or not. You come into court and you lie. I'm not going to entertain your case. But in this particular case, since I am 100% certain that she and her girlfriend caused the damage to your car, and since there also isn't a question in my mind that the police said to you, if you didn't see who actually did it, then you just surmise it's her. There's nothing that we can do, because that's what you told them. You figured if you came into court and said to me, I saw her, then you would have your car fixed. Don't go into court and lie. You lie to a judge once, usually you don't get a second chance. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Ah. What year truck is this?
It's a 94 Chevrolet.
So you have no insurance on the car?
Yes, I do, but I didn't go that route because I wanted her to pay.
Oh, no. What's your deductible on the car?
$500.
Good. Go that route. It may be a little more difficult for you. It may be a little more costly for you in the long run, but your lie's got to cost you something. So go have the car fixed. You got a $500 deductible, judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $500. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Nobody likes her. She just wants to blame me and my friend.
They wouldn't leave, so.
She was the one making an idiot out of herself, not us.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Gilbertson versus Johnson. Step forward, please.
33-year-old esthetician Vernita Gilbertson is suing former client, 42-year-old safety engineer Taryn Johnson, for unpaid house-sitting fees. Taryn says Vernita didn't do her job.
Miss Gilbertson, the defendant hired you to house/dog sit while she was on vacation. You made an arrangement. I think she was to be gone, according to your complaint, for 10 days.
Yes.
She was going to pay you $20 a day. It is your claim that you did your job. She came back from vacation and did not pay you.
Correct.
The defendant says you didn't do your job, so she's not going to pay you.
Okay.
How did you find this job?
Taryn was a client of mine at the wellness spa, and she came in for treatment, and we had talked about her going away on vacation with her mother, and I offered my services, and she agreed.
Were you supposed to stay at her home or just check on the home?
I was supposed to stay in the home.
What kind of a dog does she have?
Is there dachshunds?
Dachshunds, two of them.
Okay.
When was she leaving?
May 9th.
Did you stay in the house from the 9th until the 19th?
Excluding the 15th, which is the Tuesday. We were there. I took care of the dogs in the morning, and then in the evening we returned about 7 o'clock. And
Who's we?
My daughter and I. And then we decided to go into the jacuzzi about 9 o'clock. We invited 2 friends over. They came, and we went in the jacuzzi for about an hour. And then we decided to leave because there was all sorts of weird stuff going on. The TV went on by itself. The lights started flickering. I was like, that's it. We're out of here.
So what did you do?
We left. I made sure the dogs were secure. They had food, and then we left.
Did you stay there on the 16th?
Yes.
And the 17th?
I stayed until the 19th, until it was agreed upon.
So?
So on the Wednesday morning following the night of the jacuzzi party and whatnot, I got a call from my neighbor right here, Don Sohegan, calling me, telling me that there had been a party in my property the night before that disturbed her as well as the neighbors on the other side of my house, and that she was awakened by my dogs crying outside the house approximately 2 a.m. that morning.
Step up. Tell me your name.
Dawn Sohegan. First of all, I had only seen her come
to the house once. I get up early and I go
Well,
to
she
bed
had to
late.
have been there because the dogs would be dead after 10 days of not being fed or
Right,
walked.
but they're also on medication, and there's certain times of the day that she needs to be there, which she wasn't there at
7
those
and
times of the
7.
day.
Go ahead.
Then when the party happened, and it was a school night, a work night, what have you, and they're out carrying on in the jacuzzi, which it's late.
How many people did you see in the jacuzzi?
4.
So she is correct. There were 4 people.
And Judge, let me just add that I made it very clear that no one else was to be in the house because I have a swimming pool because of liability reasons.
Okay. What time did they finally leave the jacuzzi?
I really don't know that because I did go into my house and go to sleep.
What time?
I went to sleep a little after 10.
And then you didn't hear them anymore?
Not until about 1:30.
What happened at 1:30?
At 1:30, they had relocated the party inside the house, which her family room is right next to my bedroom window.
You mean the party of 4 people?
Yes.
Okay.
So I was awoken again at 1:30 in the morning. By 2 o'clock, they were leaving, but they left every single light on in the house, and the dogs would cry. They have a doggy door, but they were sitting on the steps crying and crying and crying.
So the next morning you called the defendant?
The next morning, I called her answering machine.
Did you contact the plaintiff at that time?
Yes, I contacted the plaintiff as well as my other friend, Paula Williams, who has a key to my home. She went to the house, and I don't know if Paula would like to indicate what happened when she went to the house.
You went to the house the next day on the 16th?
I went to Taryn's house on the Wednesday because I was so worried about the dogs. When I drove up, all the exterior lights were on. There were lights on everywhere in the house, and the dogs were running loose. The beds looked exactly as they normally do, and Taryn makes them up. The blankets, pillows, sheets
No, she
hadn't
hasn't
been
clearly.
ruffled.
Miss Gilbertson had not slept there on the 15th. She said she did not sleep there.
No, it looked exactly like it does when Taryn makes up
We
the
didn't
bed.
sleep in the bedroom.
Just a second. The 2 dogs were there?
The 2 dogs were there running in the house.
And they appeared to be fed?
The dogs were fed. There was food and water there.
Okay. So, other than the fact that the lights were on in the house, the house looked okay.
The lights were on in the house, but the towels had not been used that day.
I didn't ask. Had not been used. I'm asking you, other
not
than the fact
showering
that the
then.
lights were on,
The lights were on.
The house was in, according to you, pristine condition.
No, she chewed the comforter.
Just a second.
It was in pristine condition.
Right. What you're saying to me was in such pristine condition, it's hard to imagine that anybody had slept there.
Correct.
Okay. I understand that. But the house was in pristine condition.
Yes,
The
it
dogs
was.
were okay.
Yes, they were.
Fine. What else?
I stayed at the house until 10 o'clock that night, and that's when Vernita and her daughter came.
Okay. Miss Johnson, did you tell Miss Gilbertson when you spoke to her after this party that she had on the 15th that you didn't want her to go back to the house?
No, because she had a key, and I was afraid of what might happen.
You did not tell her not to go back.
That's correct.
Well, then you have to pay her.
She didn't complete the duties. I had to change she never brought my key. I had to change the locks.
I tried to
She
contact
left
you.
the dogs loose in the house. They shredded a comforter.
Listen, you were away for 10 days. You didn't fire her on the spot on the 15th. If you'd done that and said, listen, I'm outraged, I'm going to pay you up until the 15th. Don't bother to come back.
Why would I do? I'd put myself in danger. The woman had a key to my home.
She doesn't look dangerous to me.
I don't know her.
If you don't know her, then you don't give her a key to her house.
I don't know.
If you don't know her,
I didn't know at that point in time until she didn't do what she said she was going to do, and had people in the home that I asked her for liability reasons not to have people in my home when I
don't listen to me. I don't disagree with you, but if you have an employee that you feel as if is not performing their job, then you pay them and you fire them. Now, if she had not done her job at all and didn't show up, and your dogs were in a state of dehydration, hadn't been fed, maybe we would have a story. But if you took 2 dogs to a kennel, it would have cost you more to take your dogs to a kennel where they would have been in a cage for 10 days as it was costing you to have a human being come to the house and on at least 9 out of the 10 days staying over at your house. 9 out of the 10 days because you could only establish that she was not there, sleeping there one night. So you have to pay her. Perhaps not for the one night that she didn't sleep there because you didn't do your job that one night.
Correct.
Is that correct?
That's fine.
And I don't care about this weird ghost thing, you know. You're a big...
Hey, it's true that.
You're a big girl. Anyway, she owed you $200. I'm cutting that by 20 because you didn't sleep there. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $180.
Thank you.
Cynthia Ellis is suing her son, 24-year-old accounting clerk James Ellis, for an unpaid loan to keep his car. Chrysynthia says it's time for James to do the right thing.
Order. All rise.
Yeah, this is case number 533 on the calendar in the matter of Ellis versus Ellis. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ladies, have seats.
Mr. Ellis,
Yes.
this is your mom?
Yes.
How old are you, sir?
24.
I see here that you have children. How many children do you have?
4.
They all live with you?
Yes.
You hesitated for a minute. What does that mean?
Nothing. Just
Do your children live with you?
all 4
Or
of
do
them.
you
yeah.
live with your children?
Live with my children. All 4. And my wife.
Because that has something to do with this. Has your mother been helpful to you in the past?
Sort of, kinda.
What does that mean, sort of, kind of?
Well, you know, when I asked her to help me do things, when I needed it, she was there.
Did your mother work?
Not the present time, no.
Did she work when you were growing up?
Yes, she did.
This case has to do with the fact, Mrs. Ellis, that you say that your son came to you recently and
Yes.
said that he was having some difficulty with a car and that he needed some money. Is that right?
Yes.
What kind of difficulty was he having with his car?
It was repossessed again.
And how much money did he need?
$4,123.76.
And I gather from your complaint that you weren't anxious to give him that money immediately. Is that right?
That's true.
Why is that?
Because, like he said, I've helped him in the past. I'm always there for him. And the money that I would help him with, I would give it to him from my savings. It was my money. But this $4,000 that we're speaking of, that came from a credit card. That's borrowing from Paul to loan to Peter, and you have to pay that money back.
Did he come to you asking you for this money?
Yes, he did.
And what did you initially tell him?
I told him no. I told him I think I've done enough.
What did he say?
He begged me and sobbed and asked me to give him another chance, and I'll prove it to you, Mom. Just, if you loaned it to me this last time, I promise you, I'm going to pay you this money back. He cried and everything, but I told him no. And when I told him no, I was so happy, I was so proud of myself that I said no. I was like, yes, I actually turned this guy down, So he left, and he went to my mom's house, and he cried to her. And I guess she's never seen him cry. So she called me and said, can you just give him one more chance? I think he's going to own up to this. I think he's going to really pay you this money back.
What kind of car was it that was repossessed?
97 Dodge Stratus.
So you ultimately gave in. And you gave him $4,123. What was the arrangement as far as repaying you?
I loaned him the $4,123.76. He says gave. I just want to correct you because you said gave. I'm sorry, but you said gave, and that's what he keeps saying gave. It wasn't gave.
Go ahead.
Okay. I loaned him the money August the 17th, and he was supposed to give me $500 every 2 weeks to be paid in full by December the 10th, and any accrued interest that was left over, he would give me that with the next pay, which was December the 24th. And I don't want you to think that I'm kind of like, well, why would you want all this money for this guy? You got these kids. He has a good job, but he was getting a second job that my husband was getting for him, and he promised me that was the money he's going to pay me from. And after I loaned him the money, no second job.
But he did make some payments to you.
Yeah.
Not exactly on time, but two of $500 in August and October, and then he gave you a payment in December of $250.
Yes.
So he repaid you a total of $1,250.
Yes.
And then what happened, Mrs. Ellis?
The date he gave me, $250, was the date that the loan was supposed to be paid off, which was December the 10th. He gave my sister the $250 and told her to tell me he would give me the rest of the money with his income tax. He got his income tax and no money.
Did you call him?
Yeah, but I was harassing him when I called him.
Well, what were you saying to him?
I need a payment. I need to pay this credit card. And he would tell me, I got kids over here I got to feed, and he would give me the rundown on the things that's going on in his life, but never mind what's going on in my life.
And then there came a point when he told you that you couldn't see your grandchildren?
Yeah. Every time he gets mad at me about something, he holds those kids hostage. Every time. Every time he gets mad at me about something, I cannot see those grandkids.
How many grandchildren do you have?
3 from him. I have 5 total, but I have 3 by him.
I thought he said he had 4 children.
He has a stepchild.
And did you see your grandchildren regularly before all this happened? Have you seen them
Whenever
since?
he wasn't mad at me.
Have you seen them recently?
No, I haven't seen. The last time I saw the kids were in January.
All right, Mr. Ellis, now I'll hear from you, sir.
All righty. Oh, well, I needed the money because, I had this, like back in 1999, she bought me a car. It was a piece of crap, broke down on me. And then, I saved up some money. I said, look, I need help to get another car. So I asked her, I said, could you help me out get another car? She was like, no, 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 no. So I went and got the car on my own. Then, I got in these financial situations, these bonds.
You didn't get the car on your own. Shh, Mrs. Ellis. He didn't get the car on his own.
Hey,
Just a minute. Just a minute. I'll get back to
So I went and got the car on my own, and then, and then I was like, I found going to these financial situations. And then I came back to it when my car got repossessed. I said, I need you to help me get my car to repossession. I begged and I pleaded. Yeah, I cried too. Because it hurt me. I was real hurt.
What were you hurt about? It's a car.
No, I was hurt because, this is my mom's. I'm like, she should have been there for me faster. But, nevertheless, nevertheless, she was there in the long run, and I got my car. She say she, supposedly loaned me the money, but, she gave it to me because she rightfully, she owed me it, buy me that junk car.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Chrysynthia Ellis says her son James Ellis owes for an unpaid loan. James says he's got 4 kids to support.
Go ahead.
And then, I gave her, I think, $500, $250, to help her out,
What do you mean to help her out? Help her out.
I mean to help her out because she gave me the money. I'm just helping out. I'm saying, look, you ain't working, and here's some money to help you out. And then, I told her about the income tax thing, when that came around, situations come up. I got 4 kids, got a wife, got responsibility, hey.
Let me ask you a question, Mr. Ellis. So you have 3 children.
Mm-hmm.
How old are your 3 children?
3, 2, and soon to be 1.
Now, Mr. Ellis, do you make enough money to have 3 children?
I make enough to make ends meet, yeah.
When do you think it comes time for your mother to be able to put away for your mother and not to have to worry about a grown adult son who's old enough to be married, old enough to have a job, old enough to make 3 babies? When do you think that time comes?
I don't know.
Well, I'm telling you, there comes a time when children are supposed to say about their parents, listen, they've brought me to a certain point, right? My mother's not a rich lady. She should be able to put some money away so that when it comes time that she can no longer work or she needs money for her old age and her retirement, she has some money. She's got to stop bailing me out. You don't buy a car that you can't afford. If you have a wife, let your wife get a job instead of having another baby. You get a second job. If your wife can't get a job because she has 3 young children, because you have 3 young babies, what?
She's in school right now,
Well, listen, Mr. Ellis, that's fine. All of that is not your mother's responsibility. All of that is your responsibility.
Well.
And the fact that your mother, let us assume that your mother bought you a car in 1999. 1999 wasn't so long ago. According to you, you were a father in 1999.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you were a big grown-up guy. So she bought you a car in 1999, and it turned out to be a lemon. So you think that she owed you? She doesn't owe you anything. She doesn't owe you anything. She owed you to bring you along a certain point in your life, and after that, whatever she gives you is really a gift out of the goodness of her heart. But this was clearly a loan. It was a loan because you paid her back some.
That's because I was just looking out.
No.
I was looking out, being a nice guy.
No, when did you ever do that before, Mr. Ellis? I want to know when you ever did it before. When did you ever just gratuitously say to your mother, listen, here's $2,000, Mom. I want you to put it in your 401k. Well, you don't, because you don't have anything extra. With 4 children and a wife who doesn't work and goes to school, you don't have anything extra. So this money that you gave her was not an extra money that you had. It was money that you owed her. Then she started to bug you about it because she's getting the bills every month and the interest is going up, and it's on her credit card. And then you had the gall to say to her, you won't see your grandchildren. What kind of business is that? Why do you punish them?
It seemed good business at the time.
Why do you bring your children into it? What kind of a father brings their children into a dispute like that?
I'm just saying, she's getting mad at me. I say, hey, can't see the kids.
Well, but I'm asking you, Mr. Ellis, does that sound like a mature thing to you?
Wow.
Does that sound like a grown-up thing to you?
Well,
your children enjoy their hey, quiet, I'm speaking. Your wife may find you amusing, I don't. Your children enjoy seeing their grandmother. Why would you, as a good father, want to punish your children?
Because she's punishing me. by harassing me about the money.
So you're prepared to punish your little children because you don't like the way your mother is treating you. Is that what you're telling me? Is that what you're saying to me?
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,873. Grow up, especially before you have any more babies.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
It was given, and she wanted to say it was a loan. You know, it's just like a big conspiracy against me.
You have to crawl before you walk. He didn't want to crawl, he didn't want to walk, he wanted to fly, but I got mine in the end.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Akers, Buttrey versus Hill. Step forward, please.
24-year-old student Christine Akers and her fiancé James Buttrey are suing 42-year-old photographer Greg Hill for a refund of the deposit on their wedding photos. Christine and James say Greg botched the delivery of their engagement pictures, and they don't trust him.
All right, who's going to do the talking?
Both of us.
No, I have a feeling you are.
Okay.
You folks are engaged and planning to get married next month.
Yes, Your Honor.
According to your complaint, you hired the defendant to photograph your wedding. And he took some engagement pictures and promised them to you in a couple of weeks. A couple of weeks turned into a couple of months.
Yes.
Didn't get the pictures. And you don't want them anymore.
Mm-mm.
You want your deposit back?
Yes.
And some other damages, which you're not going to get. Forget the aggravation. You didn't have the aggravation because you didn't have him take your wedding pictures yet. When did you hire him?
We hired him on September 17th.
Did you sign a contract?
Yes.
Do you have a copy of the contract?
No, I do not.
No, Your Honor. We never received one.
But you signed it?
Yes, Your Honor.
That you got through the mail?
I got it the day that we took the engagement session pictures. So when I saw him, I signed it, handed it to him, and he replied that he would get me a new one in the mail.
And he did not send one back?
He did not, no.
And how much of deposit did he take from you?
We wrote a check for $614.44, which we were told was 1/3 of the total amount of our photography.
For the entire wedding?
For the entire wedding.
Okay. So on September 17th, you hired him and took the engagement pictures?
No, we took the engagement pictures on October 6th.
When did he say you would get those proofs back?
We would get the proofs back within
When did he say you would get the proofs
2
back?
weeks.
Okay. What happened after 2 weeks? Then you get into the third week in October. What happened?
After about the 4th week, we tried to contact him, and we contacted him for the next 7 weeks. Reached answering machine. He would return at a house when we asked to return to work and that type of thing.
What did you say on the machine?
We just want to know where our pictures were, and you said you would get them to us in 2 weeks. It's now been however many weeks, and then give me a call, please. I'm at home. I'll be here for X amount after this time.
When did he finally get in touch with you?
Around the week of November 12th.
And what did he say?
Well, actually, we spoke to Mrs. Hill. She said she would try to get the pictures out by Thanksgiving because we were leaving to go see family. We wanted the pictures before then.
And did she get them to you by Thanksgiving?
No.
When did he finally get the pictures to you?
We finally got the pictures hand-delivered to Jimmy's work.
On what date?
November the 27th, Your Honor. I had tried to reach him prior to Thanksgiving, left messages requesting that he did not put the pictures in the mail, that we would come to his house and pick them up before we left to go out of town. Left numerous numbers for him to reach me. When I got home that day, there was a message on my machine saying that he was going to put them in the mail that evening and we would receive them before the Wednesday prior to Thanksgiving. I immediately called and asked him to not do that. We would come get them.
So he came and actually brought them to you?
The Monday after Thanksgiving.
Monday after Thanksgiving?
Yes, Your Honor. I called the Wednesday we were about to leave, the day he told us we would have the pictures by. I left a message saying that, Your Honor, we are leaving to go out of town. We wanted to get our pictures by today. This is why we asked you not to mail them. Could we, trying to reach him to maybe come by and pick them up on our way out of town.
Okay, Mr. Hill.
Yes, ma'am.
According to your answer, sir, you were going through a little internal stuff. You were downsizing your business. What does that mean, downsizing your business?
That means that I moved from a commercial location back into my home.
Well, what excuse do you have, sir, for not getting the pictures to them on time?
It was the studio's fault that we didn't get the photos to them on time. It was during this time when we were moving everything back from the commercial location to the house. It was miscommunication between the people in my office and myself. Their phone calls were returned on more than one occasion.
Yeah, but they didn't get their pictures.
They did eventually. And
Mr. Hill.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any question as to why they have a lack of confidence in you to do their wedding?
I'm trying to figure out how to answer that question, Judge.
How long have you been in the business, Mr. Hill?
20 years. And occasionally problems occur.
It's not occasionally. I want to tell you something. We've done 5 weddings. 5.
Yes, ma'am.
It seems it's endemic in the photography business. You're supposed to get your pictures back, your proofs back in 6 weeks from the wedding. A year later, people are still waiting for their proofs. But by that time, they have no choice because you're the only game in town. You're the one who took the pictures. So all these young couples wait. They wait for 2 months, 3 months, and 4 months, and 5 months, and 6 months, and they don't get them back. And you guys have them over a barrel. But here, these people had a preview. You were supposed to get their pictures back to them in 2 weeks, and it took 8 weeks to get proofs, engagement proofs. These are not whole wedding pictures, but just engagement proofs. Why should they continue with your services and buy into aggravation? Why?
Because it was an unusual circumstance.
That's not their fault. They wanted their pictures. Mr. Hill, I can understand you downsizing your business, but I can't understand why downsizing your business prevents you from getting their pictures to them in 3 weeks.
I have a staff that I was dependent on to do certain things also. When you photograph a volume of weddings and portraits and children, you have to leave some things up to other people, although it is ultimately my responsibility.
Right.
And once I found out, see, I was told that they were getting some of their calls returned. I didn't realize it was just some at the time.
What difference does it make if they got calls? They didn't get their pictures. So if you were told that they were getting some of their calls returned, Mr. Hill, then you knew that there was a problem that they hadn't gotten their pictures. So why didn't you at that point say, I'm going to get them their pictures immediately? Mr. Hill, these people told you that they wanted the pictures, the few pictures that you had taken, so that they could take them home for Thanksgiving. They didn't get them until after Thanksgiving. I find that you breached your agreement with them. And you should have, under the circumstances, said to them, I don't want any bad feeling. It was my fault, ultimately, whether it was my employee's fault or my fault. I don't want you to be unhappy. I do a lot of weddings, I do a lot of children, I do a lot of showers. I'll eat that day if I can't rebook it. But you only hopefully get married one time, and I want you to be happy. So you have to return their money to them, sir. $614.44. Judgment for the plaintiff, that's all.
Parties are excused.